God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Joy. My source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. My power. He gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. He gives me everything I need. He's my source. He's my power. He gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. He gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. He's my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need.
Dave, it's here. We are blessed with talent here, and music, and love, and laughter. And welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. You made it. This is the place to be. I'm Reverend Steve Van Meter, your senior minister. It's my honor to welcome you here this morning. I know you have a lot of different places you could be this morning, but you found yourself here. Sit back, relax, have a spiritual experience, and we've been expecting you. Thank you for not disappointing us. So we're going to start with what we start every Sunday morning with, and that is our vision and mission statement. So please, let's say this together. We are an open, loving, spiritual community dedicated to evolving consciousness through teaching spiritual principles. That's why we're here. So we have some announcements this morning. The first announcement is not in the announcements because this just came across. This is the new Science of Mind magazine. It will be only coming out every other month. So it's a double. It's two. This is September and October in one magazine. Yay. Now they doubled the price. They didn't say, oh, well, you just get it for $5. No, it's $10 now, but it's 2 months. Right. So next month there won't be a magazine coming because it's already here. October is here, September and October. So this is a new thing, and publications are doing this now to stay in publication with all the changes that are going on. This magazine has been in continuous publication since I think 1927. It's one of the longest running spiritual magazines. You know, I have people come to my door and want me to read theirs, and I hand them one of mine. It's not, I can't. I say, well, how can you know? But that's another story. But so they're $10, but they're 2 editions, and they're still as incredible as they always have been. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up. You go next month and go, where's my magazine? It's all in this one. Okay. So our announcements, Center Business, the annual membership meeting is coming. It will be held on September 24th at noon, and we will be electing new trustees. You'll have an annual fiscal financial report, presentation of the annual budget, and the year to date where we are, and your senior minister report for the year. So please, for us to have a quorum, we need a certain percentage of our membership to show up. So if you're a member, please come so we can have a quorum and vote on these things and move forward. So we look forward to that. Annual members meeting notification on August 3rd. And what we did is we mailed out the pledge card with your reminder letter, with your pledge, you have to renew every year with us to keep your membership current. So there's something to mail back, and it's in a posted envelope. We put a posted envelope in there. So please send those back before September 3rd, is it? Yeah. So
is there a way to submit that online?
there is not, because we need to have the actual documentation with a signature is part of our bylaw thing. It's, you know, our bylaws were written before the internet existed, so. Well, we may be changing that, but for now, you still have to put it in the mail, or you can bring it here and give it to a board member, and we will put it in the stack that we have. A call for sacred service. Would you like to share your time, talent, and treasure with your spiritual home? Do you have a gift that you would like to share? Maybe you're a gardener. Maybe you know how to paint, because we need some painting done. Maybe you know how to clean the gutters out. We're doing that too. And we have all sorts of stuff going on. But if you can serve in the kitchen, we're looking at upgrading our AV to help the people on Zoom. The people on Zoom are like, remember us? Because we've had some challenges with our camera, with our audio, and we're looking to really just bring in some people that know how to do that kind of stuff. I know a certain amount. I mean, I got all this working, you know, somehow. But we want to upgrade things. So we'd love for whatever your gift is to share it with our center, because that's how we perpetuate what we are, is sharing it with the world. So if you have a gift, please share it with us. There's a sign up on the back if you want to give us what you want to do. we would love to have help. Rides needed. One of our congregants needs a ride. She lives in the Redwood, is it the Redwood Park
By the
area?
college.
By the college. So if somebody's coming from that direction, if you could talk to myself or Jamaica, she'll be back next week. Or Deborah, and we'll hook you guys up because we want people who may have challenges with transportation to still come and enjoy our experience. Oh, okay, let's see if my eyes are. Let me read this one here.
Roots class.
This is the Roots class. It's a 10-week class taught by Jamaica. And I think it's how much? It's $295. It's one of our more expensive classes because the intensity of the reading in this class it's a lot of reading. We're studying all of the people that Ernest Holmes studied who developed this teaching and synthesized it from other teachings. So you get to see where he culminated his energy to come up with this idea. It's a great class. So if you're thinking about furthering your consciousness or want to become a practitioner, it is a certificated class. $45 goes directly to the home office for your certificate. Okay, Soul Collage fundraiser on Saturday, September 9th. There's a sign-up sheet in the back. And if you've ever done Soul Collage, come join us. If you've never done Soul Collage, come join us. It's very exciting. I've got a nice deck of cards going myself, where you get like to develop your own personalized deck of cards by paging through magazines and putting pictures together. It's very creative, it's very artsy, and it's very meditatively stimulating. So please come. And all the donations go 100% to the center. And I think she's asking for, what was it, like
20 to 40.
between $20 and $40 because she supplies everything you need. Oh, at the time,
It's September 9th.
is it not on there? It's on the flyer in the back. So
It's in the afternoon.
yeah, I think it's in the afternoon. We'll get the time on that. Thank you for that. And metaphysical book study group. We are continuing our metaphysical book study. We're just finishing the Living the Science of Mind book. And in the next few weeks, we'll be getting into the actual Science of Mind textbook, which will probably take us 7 to 8 years to get through. That's okay. That's okay. It's so much metaphysical information that just a couple pages at a time is all you can really digest because there's so much to think about. If you read too much, too fast, you don't get it. At least I don't. So there you go. And our meditation group is also in the conference room from, is it 9:50 to 10:05. So please come and join us if you'd like to meditate, or if you want to know more about meditation, come join us. And now we will stand as Dave leads us as we sing "We Are One."
We are one. We are one. And in this unity, we shall live in harmony. As Jesus knows, as we are one. We are one. And in this unity, we shall live in harmony. As we trust as we are.
Good morning. I'm Bucky Dennerline, and I'm glad to be here as your practitioner on the podium. And first thing we're going to do is say our gratitude together. And it's coming up. Here it is.
I am grateful to allow all the time that I need to reveal the perfection of my passionate purpose. And so it is.
There's information about what a practitioner is and does in a little brochure that's in the seat backs. And basically, we are here to pray with and for you. And today in the back of the room is Tracia Wiley. She's holding the high watch during this service, knowing that divine flow is happening. And she's here also to direct you to somebody to pray with after the service. You know, we don't have a flood of people going back there to the back of the room, and yet we can accommodate it, because I know there's several of us here today that would love to pray with you, and I'm going to have you raise your hand if you're available as a practitioner. So Janice and Deborah and Tracia and myself. So there's plenty of us. There's more than enough energy and more than enough love to go around to address anything that's on your heart, whether it's something you need or something you want or something you've already experienced. It doesn't matter. We're here for you. So please see Tracia. We have beautiful flowers from somebody's garden today, I think, and it's probably Ralph and Paula Peterson and Lori Levine. Let's give them a hand. Thank you. See the fruits of our efforts in our gardens shared with us. Let's read the prayer together after we turn off our cell phones and we get quiet here. And I ask if there's anybody here for the first time, because we have a little gift for you if you have not been with us before that will help you get acquainted with us. Anybody? All right, all old timers, huh? So let's read the prayer.
I let go of the illusion of separation and joyfully step into my dreams. I embrace the absolute perfection of it all, and so it is.
Let's remain seated and sing I Am Loved.
Is in my life.
Today, I invite you to look beyond appearances as we delve into the topic of perfectly imperfect. I was inspired from the reading this last week in the Science of Mind magazine. It started off with the quote from Richard Bach, which says, "There is no such thing as a problem without a gift to you, for you." And Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind on page 25 says, "The divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God ordained." A lot of us might know stories from the Bible. There's one about a woman who believes that if she can just touch the hem of Jesus's robe, she will be healed. When she manages to touch it, Jesus feels it, turns to her and says, "Your faith has made you whole." As Holmes explains, this is another way of saying, It is done unto you as you believe. If we have faith to look beyond appearances, the universe is open to us. Christian Larson tells us that we need to live in the conviction that we are greater than any limitations or conditions that we meet. When we know this in our hearts, we gain the power to transcend any limitation. Any limitation. We know there is more good than we may be seeing in the moment. And so in my prayer today, I bring in that divine love. And knowing that in this moment, in every moment, the power and the presence of love and divine intelligence is operating in our lives as our lives. So I invite you to relax into the knowing that the universe is unfolding perfectly. Perfectly. I declare that divine right action is operating through all our experiences. Whatever life shows me, whatever life shows you, God is in the middle. And so I know this service is perfectly blessed as we sit in silence, contemplating this perfection and allowing it to unfold in every circumstance, every condition of our lives. And allowing our breath to deepen as we come back into the room, knowing that this service is perfectly blessed and that this truly, this prayer and our thoughts and our feelings all merge into that loving presence, and it expresses as our beautiful lives. And I know that we are blessed by the message and the fellowship of this service. And together we say, and so it is. Well, it's time for some special music from Dave Flick and our message from Reverend Steve.
Well, let's be what we're meant to be. Isn't this our destiny? Let's get started now today. Upward on our way. Let's be who we really are. Seek and find our inner star. Let's go forward in the light. Faces shine bright. Believe in yourself. In yourself. And be free. Be yourself. you see what happened. There's splendor in and me. Everybody's happy. Trust in yourself. Trust in yourself. There's that that knows. Trust in yourself. Trust in yourself. Faith in frozen. I will provide you new seeds and new casts if you only relinquish your hold on the past. Trust in yourself. Trust in yourself. Trust in yourself. The greatest thing. Greatest thing. Dave?
Let's get this thing moved out of the way. Well, here we are in the midst of summer. Can you feel it? The heat is on, but you know, the storms, they are coming. But yeah, there's quite a bit of weather out there. A little too much, yeah, but here we are, we find ourselves here. So I went to Lake of the Woods this last week, and my dogs apparently got into something, and I petted the dogs and it got all over me. So I have some itchy going on, and it got on my face. And the doctor said you can't shave because it will make it worse. So if you see a little grizzly Adams up here, it's my I'm growing my winter coat early. So. And I haven't had a beard before, so this is new for me. But you know, in looking around, I'm seeing that it's kind of an Oregon thing, so I'm kind of fitting right in. So I want to start off with this little thing I found on Facebook by Suzanne Geisman, and it's under dailyway.org. It says, patience. Can you make a flower grow faster? Perhaps by speaking to it lovingly, focusing your intention upon it, and giving it exactly the right amount of water, sunlight, and fertilizer. You know, these are the elements it needs to grow, and that it won't do so without them. Beyond that, the flower is on its own. Or is it? What makes the flower grow? The same source that birthed you. Some things are beyond your control, and yet you suffer when things do not go along your timelines in exactly the way you want them to. You ever had that experience? We cannot change the earthly rules, and yet we do not suffer as we see you suffer. We relax and know that you are growing. We give you our love. We sprinkle you with fertilizer of insight and guidance. And beyond that, we leave it to source to flow through you as it will. Control. It's a slippery thing. Patience is part and parcel of the process of life. You either have it or you do not, depending upon whether you understand the process of life. You are loved. Isn't that nice? I thought I'd start with that. So our August theme is my passion, my purpose, and today's topic is perfectly imperfect passion. You know, we are all divine beings. No matter what you think you believe about yourself, you are a divine being. And yet our critical inner voice, you know, the self-talk, you know, oh, you can't do that. Who do you think? Oh, don't even try. Can often paralyze our passions. You know, we put our passions on the back burner, and eventually, if you keep putting stuff on the stove, the stuff that was on the back burner slides off the back of the stove and you don't see it anymore. You've got to keep it going. So how can we find a place of self-acceptance in order to share the gifts that are uniquely ours to give? You know, we're never alone, but we must learn how to trust that we're always guided. Do you have an inner guidance system? Do you know you have an inner guidance system? Do you know how to use your inner guidance system? Did you read the manual on your inner guidance system? You know, we just want to get it out of the box and play with it. We don't want to read the instructions. And then something goes sideways and we go, I better read the instructions. I don't know what all these buttons are for. So this month, as we explore passion and purpose, we begin by encouraging you to identify your hidden, buried, or unexamined passions. As we discover our passion and purpose, we often default to judging ourselves or comparing ourselves to others. You ever do that? You ever like, oh, I'm not even going to try. Why would I try? You know, when I started playing the bass, I started looking at other bass players. And there's this little band called Rush. And there's this guy named Geddy Lee who plays the bass while he's playing keyboards,
Wow.
while he's playing foot bass notes and singing lead.
Wow.
I put my bass down for a little while. I was like, I will never be that. And then after a couple of weeks of listening to more Rush, I said, but I won't know unless I try. I must try. And within that, I developed my own inner guidance system that said, you don't have to be Geddy Lee, you have to be you. And play bass the best you know how. And that kind of freed me up that it's okay not to be ever as good as he, but I can be me. And if you can be you, then your own Geddy Lee. You can be your own, whatever your idol is. So if we foster an illusion of separation, we feel powerless to step into our dreams. Taking score too soon, we don't allow time to reveal the perfection of our passionate path. By following some simple steps, we can recognize imperfections as unique expressions of divine manifestations through us, and thus embrace the perfection of it all. Can you embrace your challenges, your defects, your, what do they call that in a diamond, where there's these little flaws? Yes, the facets. Yes, the preclusions. Yes, those things that catch our eye. Those are imperfections, but that's what makes each diamond individually separate and beautiful. And you have your own facets, don't you? Your own things that glimmer in the sunshine. But we don't like taking them out in the sunshine, do we? We don't want anybody to see our imperfections. The universe delights in expressing itself as us and offers guideposts to follow along the way. But we need to trust the process and affirm that everything is working out for our highest and best good. No matter what it may look like, everything, there's a master plan. And we have to go along with the master plan, even when things don't go our way. There are no accidents or no mistakes in life. You didn't just happen into this center. You didn't just like have nowhere else to go on Sunday and you found yourself here. Something drew you here. Something was calling in you, and you answered that call by getting yourself here. So because there are no accidents or mistakes in life, everything unfolds according to our BS. Our belief system. Our BS, our belief system, are a natural outcome of our thoughts. And sometimes we can see it as BS, can't we? Sometimes it's like, oh, that's not for me, that's not mine. When we broaden our expectations to celebrate our quirks, unanticipated surprises lie just on the other side. The seed of perfection is growing as us. Only our judgments can block its unfoldment. How often do we censor ourselves? Oh, I better not say that. Or I wish I could take that back. I wish I wouldn't have said that. So here's my 3 talking points. Number 1, it's easy to doubt ourselves and our abilities. That's what we do. For whatever reason, we have that little question mark implanted in us going, is this for me? Is this right? We are hardwired for fear, but we can change the wiring. We're based on survival instincts. That's what kind of got us through the first years of our life, you know? We're only born with a couple of fears: the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Everything else is learned. Wow. That's incredible, because, you know, you think of all the things you're afraid of, and you're like, I learned that. You can unlearn it. You can decide that those things don't scare you. You know, when your checkbook goes down, the decimal point keeps moving, you can go, I'm going to move it back up. It's only a decimal point, it's just a number. It can be moved. Fake it till you make it. Grab another checkbook and start over. You know, when I was a kid, I love this about my prosperity consciousness. I knew that if you had a checkbook, you had money. So I went down to the little store and they sold checkbooks. I bought myself a checkbook. I didn't understand how the whole process of money worked. And the lady that was selling me the checkbook said, you know, you have to have a bank account hooked up to this thing for it to work. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. I had no idea. But it was the beginning of me understanding the process of abundance, right? Yeah, I was just going to write checks to all my friends, you know, just, hey, all right. You get a check and you get a check. Boy, that wasn't written in here. I don't know where that came from. So we're hardwired for fear, right? Therefore, a large percentage of our thoughts each day can be negative ones. You ever find yourself like, oh, no, that's bad. Oh, this is not going to go well. And then you find yourself going down a negative path. But we have to stop that stinking thinking. Just quit it out. Quit it out. You know, we're trying to protect our image and believing that someone is out to get us and that we're not good enough or that there's only a limited supply, that if I take too much money, that somebody else won't have theirs. That's just limited thinking. There isn't an unlimited supply. How much sunshine can you have? All of it. All of it. It's all yours for the taking. Just use sunscreen. We are never separated from the universal divine intelligence. We're guided in the direction that we need to take. We need to seek out and identify that guidance, recognizing that we are not alone. We learn to trust in our experiences. Trust in what's happening to you. Trust that everything is going to work out okay. Our current conditions do not reveal the truth of our situation. They only show us a snapshot, the results of our past thinking, allowing us to make corrections along the way. It's like walking into a house that somebody's painting and it's not done. And you take a snapshot and go, this painter doesn't know what they're doing. When it's not done, it's maybe the paint's drying and it looks uneven. And you base your life on an uneven paint job. There's more to be known. Defensiveness and self-doubt hinder our passions and feelings of purpose. As we act from this belief, our being alone in the world, we might fear that no one will like what we have to offer, or that what we are creating is not good enough to share with the world. This is BS. This is our belief system in working to defeat us. And it can stunt our expansion and block our unfoldment into our perfect imperfection. Your imperfections are perfect. They're yours. And you can outgrow them if you want. But they're what make up who and what you are. We must not be afraid. Fear not to take the first step in realizing that our dreams are valid and that we have a purpose for existing. God doesn't make any extra parts. God don't make no junk. Nope. Everything is a miracle. I mean, we're hurtling through space on a rock in the far corner of a huge, unlimited experience. And if you can take that step back and look at your life as a thumbnail sketch, it just, not to take anything away from your challenge, but it's really not a big deal when you look at it differently. It's all in perspective. One of my favorite players is Tommy Shaw from the band Styx. And he wrote this song called Ever Since the World Began. You're just another piece of the puzzle. You're just another part of the plan. How one life touches another is so hard to understand. Still, we walk this road together and we try to go as far as we can. And we've been waiting for this moment in time ever since the world began. And even though the seasons change, the reasons shall remain the same. It's love that keeps us holding on till we can see the sun again. Tommy Shaw. It's from his solo album, if you're looking for that. But we've been waiting for this one moment ever since the world began, and here you are. You're doing it. You showed up, and now here you are. Number 2, every so-called failure teaches us something. Intuit, a software company that gives a special award for the best failure and creates failure parties to celebrate them. Intuit co-founder Scott Cook states, every failure teaches us something important that we can be the seed for the next great idea. What a great thing to do. There is a reward in Google for making mistakes and taking risks. Both companies recognize that lessons come out of discovering what does not work. You know, my bass teacher, Randy Rhodes, incredible musician, incredible. I said, how do you know, Randy, what to play now? How do you know, how do you sound so good? And he said, you try everything and the music will tell you. If it sounds good, do it. If it doesn't, don't. Here he was teaching me theory and I was like 14 years old. I was just like, oh, okay, sounds great, whatever. But isn't that something in life that we can follow? Like if your life is working, follow it. If it's not, go a different direction. When we step out of our comfort zones, we open to growth and expansion. We change our course when we believe in our project or our dreams. We recognize that this is what we are here to do, despite how it may look to others. You know, we're so, you know, you don't want to ask somebody to dance because you don't want to dance yourself. Because you maybe don't know how, or you don't think you're a good dancer. This is what keeps a lot of young people from dancing. But once you get out there and start cutting the rug, nobody cares. Nobody's watching you. And if they are, it means that they're trying to figure out what you're doing. Leaning into a choice that is not uniquely powerful or our own is often based on this desire to fit in or to not rock the boat, baby, rock the boat, to the boat. Oh. It's based on our surviving rather than our thriving. We aren't here to just survive. I mean, that got us onto the planet, you know, just survival. Now, it's time to thrive. What's your greatest yet to be? After all, a belief is merely a thought that we have kept repeating until it is our default. Thoughts become beliefs, and beliefs can be changed. Change your thinking, change your life. It's the motto of our teaching. Thoughts hold no special power unless we give it to them by our constant focus on them. You know, you're demonstrating perfectly of what you believe. You can't demonstrate outside your belief level. That's why we need to change our beliefs. We need to read new material. We need to be around other people to bounce ideas off of, to get more information. What we think about, we bring about. You like all the little one-liners? In a pinch, those are the things that boil to the surface, right? What you think about, you bring about. So what are you thinking about? Stop that stinking thinking. Self-doubts are created by us and therefore can be let go of by us. As we release our perspective, our opinions of others, we begin to take greater chances. Number 3, perspective gives us a great opportunity. What's your perspective? Perspective gives us a great opportunity to see the perfection in all events and creations. We often judge the outcome or take score too soon. when the manifestation has yet to be revealed. The paint is still drying. Don't judge it on a wet paint job. Come back in a couple hours. It will look different. We can turn shambles into shortcuts by recognizing the gifts or lessons within them, sparking new insights. If you look closely at an intricate tapestry, you might believe that it is a mangled mess of yarn and fabric, making no sense or design whatsoever. It isn't until you take a step back and view the tapestry from afar that you discover that bigger picture. Your tapestry need not be compared to anyone else's, because you are an individual. You are a thread and a color of your own. All of us make up this thing called life. So in conclusion, we need to question our long-held BS belief system. Why are we still hanging on to those beliefs based mostly in fear? Because that's easy. That's our default. We must change our default. We have an opportunity to move into an expansion by boldly stepping out and taking some risks. Each day, if and when we make a mistake or fail at something, look to see how that experience can expand your consciousness rather than beating yourself up over it. Don't be so hard on yourself. Come on. I'm talking to myself. Because that's what we do, right? We make some silly mistake, and then, how do you treat yourself when you've spilled the milk? And you're like, oh, I'm so stupid. Look what I did. And once I realized that everything was God and that I was talking to God when I was doing that, I was like, oh, you are so creative. You spilled milk like nobody else can spill milk. I'm gonna take a selfie with that. That's my mess. That's my mess. See, when you own your messes, you can own your triumphs, right? Right? Because, and the first time I read that, I threw the textbook across the room. What? You don't know the trouble I've seen. I am perfect. I don't have any problems. And, what's the main common denominator in all your challenges? A you. I'm like, maybe I better look at myself here. It's our choice regarding if and how long we want to keep living in the idea of unworthiness or comparing ourselves to others. We are each blessed with a divine seed that is waiting to sprout. But you gotta plant it. It ain't gonna sprout unless it gets the right soil, the right air, the right water, the right space. Give your ideas the fertilizer it needs to grow. There is no separation between us and spirit. And when we belittle ourselves, we belittle the spirit that created us and diminish the power inherent therein. Step into the knowledge that each passion we have is assisted with a perfect pattern activated at birth. You are here for a divine purpose. The universe expands by playing and creating through our unique, perfect imperfection in our human form. That's who and what we are. Dr. Holmes wrote in The Science of Mind, if the spiritual universe were not perfect, it could not exist for a single moment. The truth is indivisible and whole. God is complete and perfect. That's Science of Mind, page 184. So remember, don't doubt yourself and your abilities. Every failure teaches us something. if you're teachable, and perspective gives us a great opportunity to remember who we are. And so it is. And now it's time for some prayer. So let's follow our teaching and remember who we truly are. I invite you to bring to the forefront of your consciousness of what you believe created you. What is it that is creating each one of us? Now you can give it a name. You can call it God or goddess or source energy or great spirit. That's your business. But I think we can agree that there is a power. And that each one of us is a part of that power. We are each God in form. It can be no other way. And as we activate the power of the goddess, the God, the source energy within us, as we turn away from the challenges in our life, we turn into source energy. We literally turn into the creative energy of the universe, because that is what we truly are. I may not know what you're walking through in this moment, but I know that the infinite does. And as such, how does it look healed? What if it were not a challenge? What if it was a gift? Can you say thank you for your challenges? When you begin to live in that energy, the gifts begin to manifest. The connections are being made. The health is coming forward. The revealing of truth is happening in each of our lives as we are aware of it. So as we begin to wake up together, a new energy is being created in this world of form, and we are the directors of our lives. We are God in our lives. So we give great thanks for thriving, not just surviving. We give great thanks for being able to survive some of the challenges we've all walked through. But now, a new energy is being reassembled, because the things that fall apart are falling back together in a way that support our vision. We are thriving, so we accept that. Thank you, divine energy of love, peace, joy, and harmony. It is easy to let go, to release this word directly into the living, loving law of life, where it returns to us fully orbed and resplendent. And we are so blessed. And we take advantage of that blessing right here and right now by affirming it together and saying, so it is. So it is. Well, it's time for our offertory. So if you'd like to take your offering and put it in your hand and put it on your heart, or just put your hand on your heart, let's affirm our prosperity sharing affirmation together, saying, knowing I cannot outgive God, I celebrate my abundance by giving to this blessed center. And so it is. Babe? Let's say a prayer for our offering today. From the love of pure spiritual energy, these tithes and gifts have been collected. They're evidence of our faith, our belief, and our ability to manifest in this world form. They do good work in this world and bless the giver and receiver. And allow this, the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living, to be here, available and thriving for those who choose to remember who they are, and even for those who may not know it yet. And for this community is blessed. And so it is.
So it is.
It's time for our song. When we stand up and sing together. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening right now.
Something wonderful.
In my mind. It's happening in my body. It's happening in the body of my affairs. Think it? I feel it. And I know it. Just the way that it is. Just the way that it is not.